All right, what is up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSD Mode podcast weekly real estate tip. And today I'm here to talk to you about the most effective way to stay in touch with your past clients to ensure that you maximize on repeat and referral business, and how to do this without spending any money and without ever having to go out there and beg for business. So I'm going to walk you through my exact step-by-step protocol, what I do, how I do it, all of that fun stuff. Now, before we jump in though, if you're watching this on YouTube, please do me a massive favor. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that like button, drop me a comment. I personally check all those comments daily, respond to all those comments. And regardless of wherever you're watching or listening to this, make sure that you visit and go check out gsdmode.com. And there's two things I want you to do on there. Number one, I've got a free ebook on there. It's called Dominate Your Real Estate Business, Top Tips from a Top Producer. There's 42 top tips and strategies that are proven strategies that I've done over over my career that allowed me to become a top producer. And all of those are broken down. It's 42 my top tip strategies broken down in that book. There's no strings attached, nothing being sold, just free resources to help you continue to grow, scale, and dominate your real estate business. Also, right now, and you'll find this on gsdmode.com as well. I have a free 3-hour in-depth masterclass, which is all about how to continue to grow and scale your real estate business right now during this changing, shifting market. How to ensure that you go out there and dominate your goals, even though that this market is shifting fast, right? But we've got to make sure that we are pivoting and shifting with the overall market. So I'm going to walk you through what I've been able to do for over my 18-year-long career now, even during the worst housing market crash in recorded history during 2008, how I've been able to continue to grow and scale my business year after year, regardless of the marketplace. And I'm walking you through that in depth. Again, nothing being sold, no strings attached. You can jump on that training. It's right there. Again, gsdmode.com, where you can check both those free resources out to help you guys continuing to grow your business. All right, let's jump back on in to the topic at hand. And again, just a reminder, we're here to talk about the most effective ways to stay in touch with your past clients, to maximize on repeat and referral business without having to spend any money, without having to go out there and beg for that business. All right, so the first thing is, why is this important? And I get it. You probably understand why it's important, but most realtors or real estate professionals will tell me that they understand that it's important, but they still don't do shit with this, right? Like, they don't take advantage of this. They don't do the efforts and maximize this. So then obviously they don't get the importance of this. But when we look at the stats, you got 88% of buyers and sellers, when surveyed after the fact, said that they love their agents. Their agents did an amazing job, or their agent did an amazing job, and that they absolutely would utilize their real estate agent again in a future transaction. However, only 11% end up doing a repeat transaction with them. And why is that? It's not because over time in their head, their agent did a shittier job. No, it's because they forgot their name. Yeah, right. The agent dropped the ball, did not do their job at staying in touch, keeping that relationship alive. They dropped that ball. Not only did they miss out on that repeat business, they missed out on all that referral business, right? We got to make sure that that's not us. You got to understand that your mom will forget that you are a real estate agent. Your mom, you're her son, you're her daughter. Like, it's our job as real estate professionals to teach people and train people how to do business with us, to do repeat business with us, and to send us those referrals. That is our job. And if you've been in this industry long enough, you've been in that situation where you attend a party or a get together, whether it be a friend or a past client or a family member, that comes up to you. They're so excited to talk to you, and they start telling you, oh, hey, we just bought a house, or we just sold a house. And you know damn well they didn't use you. And you get pissed, and it stings, it hurts. And I've been there, and I used to get angry as well until I understood that that was my fault. I took full responsibility for it and just understood that it wasn't their fault, it was my fault. Somewhere along the line, I stopped following up. I dropped the ball in the relationship. I didn't do my job of teaching and training them to do repeat business with me and continuing to send me those referrals, right? This is really important. And this can be, if you're doing this right, after you've been doing this for, let's just say, 3 or 4 years, you should be getting to the point where about 50% of your business or more is coming from repeat referral business. Now, for me, I want to see that 50% of repeat referral business, but I also want to see 50% coming in from new business, because I want to continue growing my transaction count at a big scale, level year after year. But there's no reason why you shouldn't be getting, after you've been doing this 3, 4, maybe even 5 years, but within 3 years, you can get to that point where 50% of your business is repeat referral business. That doesn't cost you any money. It's a lot less time intensive, right? Because they came from somebody that they trust. They're already sold on you. You just don't have all that resistance when it comes to gaining new business, right? It's the hardest from a time perspective to go out there and obtain, and it's also the most costly. Like, how many leads do you need to generate? How many leads do you need to pay for? How many follow-up calls do you need to do just to go out there and get a new client? right? When you get that repeat referral business flood, then, it doesn't cost any money. And usually you have a lot less resistance to go out there and obtain. And here's the cool thing is that you absolutely do not need to spend any money at all, or you can spend very little, or or as I mentioned, no money if you don't want to invest money into this. This doesn't need to cost money. And personally today, I'm not spending any money at it. Yeah, I have to invest in the systems, but you should have a CRM anyway. Outside of that, everything else is a little bit of effort and a little bit of time that we'll walk through, but look, over the years, I've tried and tested so many different things, from client events and parties, to at one point I created like my own custom newspaper that was like $5 per issue per mailer that got delivered in their mailbox each month. I've tried, fancy, gifts and all this different stuff. And I found that none of those things to matter. Now, there is one thing outside of general follow-up, but as far as an element of follow-up, I found one thing that absolutely does matter. And every time that I've tried to remove that out of the follow-up process, to more automate this process, it's came back to bite me very heavily. And I'll talk about what that one thing is as we get deeper into this and I break down what my overall strategy is for this. All right, so but before I jump into my overall strategy, I think it's really important just to remind you guys of what the real estate game is, right? So the real estate game itself is to get people to know you, like you, trust you, be aware of what you do for a living, follow up with them frequently, and it'll keep your message in front of them frequently, and your business continues to grow. But we've got to do this. We got to do a good job at this. And we got to, especially in today's world, man, because it's so busy, it's so crazy. People are so inundated. The average person is sold commercial about 5,000 times each and every day. So it's a busier, crazier, noisier world than ever. So this stuff becomes really, really important. But we got to make sure, again, we're getting people to know us, like us, trust us, being aware of what we do for a living, follow frequently, our business continues to grow. Now, hopefully, because they're a past client, they know us, like us, trust us already. So we got to still we can still build on those things and keep that rapport, keep that connection alive, which is all part of my strategy. But we definitely got to continuously planting that seed of, hey, remember I'm in real estate. Hey, remember I can help you. Hey, remember to think of me anytime you're thinking about doing another transaction or referral. And you can do this without begging for that business, which I talked about in the beginning, and I'll talk about once I get into scripts and those conversations, and so forth. All right, so now let's jump on into my overall process. So now I'll talk about, the different systems and exactly what I do step by step here. Now, the first thing is I said earlier, it's our job to teach and train people to do business with us, do repeat business with us, and send us that referral business. So through this, I start this kind of teaching indoctrination process, if you want to say it in that way, as soon as they become a client. So let's just say I'm in a buyer consultation and boom, they become a client, right? So as soon as they become a client, so I've got, my dream home, their dream home form filled out. So I've got extreme clarity on what they want. I just got the buyer broker agreement signed. We know that they're pre-qualified, all that stuff. So now they're a buyer client, right? So my next conversation, there's two things that I do here. The first is I transition this conversation. So, and I've got their dream home filled out, dream home form. So it's a little bit of a tongue twister, dream home form, complete, filled out, which is what they're looking for. That's what their dream home is. That's what their goals are, what they want for their real estate goals. So I'll let them know, and I'll go over that with them, and I repeat that to them, and I just let them know, hey, now that I have clarity on what your goals are, I want to share with you what my goals are with this overall experience. My goal is to make this such an amazing experience for you that not only do you want to have me as your realtor for life and are wanting to do repeat transactions because this was such a great experience that I'm become your realtor for life, but to make this such a great experience to the point where if you overhear friends, family members, coworkers, you will overhear anybody, even strangers, talking about buying or selling real estate, that you end up going out of your way to interrupt them, hand them my card, saying, oh, you got to use my realtor. They are the best. That's my goal, to make this such an amazing experience where you become such a raving fan that you're out there doing whatever you can to help me grow my business. So let me ask you this: what must happen in addition to finding you your dream home here, right? So what must happen in addition to that to make this an amazing experience so that my goals become a reality? And usually they're just like, well, I don't know, I just want the house, dude, right? They don't typically know at that point. They're just, they'll give, kind of a blanket answer there. But then I say, hey, no worries at all. I appreciate that feedback. And throughout this transaction or throughout this whole entire process, I'm going to check in with you just to make sure that your experience is going amazing. And again, if there's anything I can do better, and please, if you have that constructive feedback for me, please give it to me, because again, I you know what my goals are here, and I want to make this where you're a client for life, and to the point where you're a raving fan out there and telling everybody that you know to do business with me. So I'm going to be checking with you frequently throughout the whole process just to see if there's anything that I can do to improve. And then I do that. I mean, of course, we're checking in all the time on the transaction and, showing those properties. I do the same thing on the listing side, but at least well, it depends. It gets further through the transaction. In the beginning, until we get them under contract, it's about once a month that I'm rehaving that conversation. Hey, how are things going? Is there anything I can do to improve? Again, here's my goal, and I repeat what my goal is for this experience. Is there anything that you can give me that feedback on? So I'm just planting those seeds. I'm planting those seeds. Remember, it's our job to teach and train them how to do repeat business with us, and to go out there and send us that referral business, right? So I'm just keep planting that seed deeper and deeper and deeper. Then once we go under contract, right now, I'm having frequent updates multiple times throughout the week, but at least once a week, I'm just having a general check-in and I'm replanting that seed again throughout that whole time. So for me, it starts as soon as they become a client, right? So I start planting that seed right there for repeat referral business. In addition to that, as soon as I get a client, whether it's on the buy side, sell side, or any side, right? Even if it's a rental, whatever, I connect with them on social media. So at that point, I want to make sure the two biggest platforms that we use in at least my business are Facebook and Instagram, right? So I'm going to make sure I'm connected with them at least on Facebook, if not Facebook and Instagram. Now for you, where you do business, a lot of your clients might be, coming from TikTok. Well, it's like whatever the social media platforms that, your clients are typically on, that you're on, spending a lot of time. For me, it's going to, again, primarily be Facebook, secondary Instagram. So I'm going to make sure I'm connected with them on those two places, right? So then from there, with social media, I look at social media as my social CRM. Of course, I've got my regular CRM. So for me, that's perfect storm. I got my regular CRM that I operate my business out of. And then we've got our social CRMs. So with my social CRM, and this is how we start keeping in touch with them, right? So as soon as they become a client, we're connected on there. Now they're seeing those posts. So of course, with them, right, for them, and this is just a rule of social media. If you're not seeing their stuff, they're not seeing your stuff, right? So right out of the gate, we want to make sure to go out there and start liking and commenting on their stuff as they're posting stuff, and even going back through their stuff, back through old posts, liking, dropping some comments, right? Just to kind of teaching that algorithm, if you will, to make sure to show me their stuff, so then I can make sure that they're seeing my stuff, right? So these are going to be clients. These are people that I want to be connected with on lots of different ways. We want to be communicating, and so forth. Now I will do that connection. I pull out my phone right on the buyer consultation, right on the listing presentation. I'm doing it right there. Okay, boom. I just shot your friend request. Okay, I just started following you on Instagram. Make sure to follow me back. And make sure to accept that friend request. So I'm doing that right there, so it doesn't get dropped, it doesn't get forgotten, it doesn't get missed. That's all part of our process with our listing manual and our buyer consultation manual. Okay, so then from there, what are we posting on social media, right? Because we got just to kind of overview, we got social media posts that we're gonna be doing engagement on social media. Then we have mass emails that we're going to be engaging on. And then we've got our ongoing phone calls that I'll break down and talk to you about as well. So we just follow the 80-20 rule, right? So 80% of what we're posting on social media now, these are from our personal pages, right? So on Facebook, from our personal page, not our business page, we're going to connect with them on the personal page, because it's that's where the relationships happen, right? That's where I want to be connected with them personally. So 80% of the posts are going to be, non-work related. 20% are going to be work related. But on the work related posts, we don't want to go out there. And when I say we, I'm not saying that you got to abide by this. I'm talking about what we do for best practices for myself and my team. How I teach my agents is look, you can sell without selling. So let's just say, instead of just posting something that is another one sold above list price, call me if you're thinking of selling. Look, people get burnt out on that stuff. They don't like seeing that stuff. And you can have the same impact with posting that in a slightly different way. So instead of that, maybe I got a picture with my clients in front of the house with a sold sign with their family, and I take a picture of that, and I do a gratitude post on social media. How blessed and honored I was, to be able to be the realtor of this amazing family. And I'm so thankful that they allowed me to be their realtor. And I'm so excited and happy for them that they found their dream home, and if with their permission, tag them into it, right? It's the same thing. I'm still planting that seed that I'm a real estate agent without saying, hey, buy or sell from me every 2 seconds, right? So we're just trying to do, a lot of gratitude posts, all of that stuff, still showcasing that we're in real estate, or if we're out showing homes with a client, doing a selfie with the client in front of the house, out showing homes with an amazing client today. Man, I love what I do. There's nothing more that I love than helping my, clients go out there and find their dream homes. Love real estate, #blessed, whatever it may be, right? So that's going to be 20% of our posts. right? But we got to do them frequently enough, posting at least once a day. My recommendation is 4 times a day. So then if we look at that 4 times a day, three of those 4 posts are going to be personal, whether they're hobbies, about family, passions, whatever. And then one of those will be business. So it's like every 4th post essentially is business, so we got three personal to 1 business. We find that just be a good ratio, not to burn people out, but then also it's not just about burnout. It's like you're going to get the most engagement on your personal posts, just how it's going to go. Not to say that you won't get a lot of engagement on those business posts, but you're going to get by far the most engagement on those personal posts. All of that is going to then help to make sure that my business posts are seen more as well. Because I don't need them to engage on them. I just need them to see it. I just need it to come across their eyeballs and plant that subconscious seed that, hey, don't forget, I'm in real estate. So that's the social media front, right? And we start that again at that client phase. And then from there, hopefully we're connected forever on those social media platforms. So they continue seeing that. And again, we're continuing to, like and comment, engage on their content as well. Okay. So then from there, inside of our actual business CR. Now this is, once obviously from the contract to close process, the client process, we have, a different follow-up protocol, and it's different between buyers, sellers, under contract versus not under contract. So we have that communication protocol going on. Now we're going to speak specifically to what do we do and what do we send past clients, from our CRM, and what does that, outside of social media engagement look like? Okay. So we've got our mass emails that we do for our past clients. Mass emails are going to be holiday emails. So there's 7, kind of yearly big holiday emails that we send out. So they're getting 7 of those from us. They're getting a monthly market update report. So like these are, clients in our market, in our area. So once a month, we're just doing whether it be a video market update report, which is my favorite, but it doesn't have to be, it can be written out as well. But it's just, hey, what's going on with the market overall? And again, it doesn't even matter if they read it. Hopefully they read it. There's content and that's great, but the fact is, even if they're just seeing my email that just says Joshua Smith Realtor, and all right, they're seeing the subject line, they click that checkbox, they click the trash can, that is still imprinting Joshua Smith Realtor. They know my name. They know who I am, right? They know I'm in their inbox, so they can go search their inbox or search their, trash box at any time to pull up my information if they need me, right? I'm just, again, planting that seed that I'm here. I'm a realtor. I'm here. So we got those going out once a month. And then on my team, we do a Monday motivation message every Monday. So these aren't real estate related, the holiday message are non-real estate related. Yeah, the monthly, market update is real estate related, but these are, typically homeowners, right, with our past clients. So they want to keep a pulse on what's going on there. Then from there, our Monday motivation messages have nothing to do about real estate, right? When we don't even with our holiday messages, I don't ask for repeat referral business. They can see it's coming from, like I always have my name to show up in the preview box as Joshua Smith, Realtor. Right. So they're always seeing that, right? When they see who it's from, it's Joshua Smith or whatever your name is, Realtor, right? So they see that. Then when they open the email, obviously they'll see my email signature, all of that, so like with holiday message, it's just, hey, want to wish you and your family a happy Thanksgiving. Hope you have a great day. That's it. Like we're just speaking like just to that holiday. Same thing on the Monday motivation messages. Hey, hope you had a great weekend. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. As always, I like to start the week off right with some words of motivation. I saw this quote online, really loved it, wanted to share it with you, and then we're sharing somebody else's quote. It's like I'm having to come up with this content. It's the same template every single time, just inserts their name, we insert the quote, who the quote's from, image of the quote, boom, that goes out every single Monday, right? So now they're getting weekly emails, monthly emails, and then essentially bi-monthly emails if you count the holidays, is every other month, when you start breaking that down. So a lot of communication there taking place in addition to the social media element as well. Now, when I said earlier that there was one thing that I found to impact, like everything else, like whether I've done events or not events, like none of that stuff has mattered. This is the one thing that has mattered. And when I've dropped this, and I've just to try to automate this, because this last thing here that I'm going to talk about is the time consuming element. All those mass emails, that takes a couple minutes, and I can blast those out to 10,000 people all at once, and it takes a couple minutes. None of that stuff, everything that we've talked about up to this point, takes very, very little time. It's stuff that we're already doing in our business, already sending out anyways, right? This last one though does take a little bit of time. And this is the one impactful thing that's talking about that does impact. And anytime I've dropped this to try to cut back that time, save myself that time, that's what's hurt the repeat referral business flow, coming in, which is phone calls, right? I found that these to be massive with these ongoing phone calls. And especially, I think it's more powerful today than ever before. My guess is as to why this is true is, look, ask yourself this: when's the last time that anybody reached out, whether it be in person or over the phone? When's the last time that somebody reached out to you, or you had a conversation with somebody in person? They looked at you in the eyes. They weren't checking their phone. They weren't trying to hijack the conversation. They gave you 5 or 10 minutes of the like their fully divided attention, uninterrupted time, and you truly felt like they were genuinely interested, in you and what you were talking about. You probably can't even think of the last time that took place, right? Somebody, I hate it, man. It happens to me all the time. Like, I mean, multiple times every single day, where somebody will ask me a question, right? And then I'll go to answer it. And while I'm answering it, now they're checking their phone. I'm like, dude, why'd you ask me this question? You obviously don't care what I have to say, right? Like, and it's not that they're doing anything wrong or bad. That's just the world that we're living in, right? So it doesn't mean that they're not even paying attention. It's just, that's how we feel, right? So, and if you break this down, it's like, and I'm a big believer in Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. But the deepest desire of all human beings, like the thing that people crave most, is the feeling of significance, right? And we start looking at this, I mean, our past clients are the most significant people when it comes to our overall business. I don't know about you, but I can't provide opportunities and food on the table for my family, without my amazing clients, right? I'm commission only, so to me, it's like they're the most significant people to my business, right? So I'm just going to give them what they want, right? So when it comes to these phone calls, and I'll break down the frequency and then give you an idea of how these conversations go. All right, so we're gonna hopefully you've celebrated the close, right? So whether it be a buyer or seller, whether you've were there at the closing table or delivered the keys, like you've celebrated the close, assuming that you celebrated the close. So for me, and how to keep on top of this stuff is inside your CRM. So like for me, I go inside Perfect Storm and I have a 20-year follow-up template already built out. So as soon as they become a past client, I just click a button, and then all of these are added for the next 20 years. So I don't have to think about calling, like I just log into my system and says, hey, you got to call this past client today, right? Like that's it. Like, so create this and have these systems, like have your systems in place. Your CRM is your most important system inside your overall business that will help you stay on track with this stuff. If you don't have a good CRM that I have, that I utilize, Perfect Storm, you can go check it out, perfectstormdemo.com. It's an epic system. But anyway, all right, so it's to become a past client, I add that drip to them. All right, what that's going to task me to do is I'm going to call them 7 days post close, buyer or a seller, doesn't matter. It's the same frequency. So a week after the closing date, assuming I celebrate the close with them. Okay, then I'm going to call them 7 days post close, right? Then I'm going to call them 30 days post close just to check in on them. Especially on the buy side, it's like when people move into a property, it's like we had that whole thing inspected, everything in the property was great, nothing, whatever. It's like if shit goes wrong, it's usually in the first 30 days. I know a lot of realtors try to, kind of hide and don't want to deal with those problems. No, I want to be there. I'm here to, in one of the scripts I always use is, hey, look, I'm not here to just be a realtor. I'm here to be your realtor, a resource, and hopefully a friend for life. Right? So I'm here to be your realtor, a resource, and a friend for life. Right. So I want to be there for them. If something goes wrong, if the water heater goes bad, if the AC unit goes out, I'm not saying I'm going to stroke out the check and fix all this crap for them, but I absolutely will help them, get with the right repair person. If I know the right repair person for that, and whatever it may be, I want to keep, training them again, teach and train them to always be, to do business with us, do repeat business, referral business. I want to train them to like reach out for me for anything. I don't care if you want to know what the best damn restaurant is at any area of town, you call me. Like, call me for anything and everything. You need anything, I'm your guy. You just call me. I just want them calling me all the time. Yeah, right. Or thinking about me all the time. So, okay, I'm going to call them day 30. And again, this is chat. Hey, how's it going? I know it's been 30 days. Can't believe it's already been a month. Can you believe that? Hope all is well. Hope you and the family are doing, just want to make sure everything's going okay, with my sellers. Now, hopefully they got the check before day 30, but like my sellers on that 7-day close, I want to make sure that they got their check and everything is good to go, all that. So I'm doing day 7, day 30. And then after that, every 90 days for the next 20 years. Right. And the reason why I have it go out for 20 years is, okay, if I haven't done a repeat, transaction with you after 20 years, I'll probably just reset it. I've only been in business for 18 years. So we'll see what I do there at that 20-year mark. But, if I have some of those as I go through my system that haven't done repeat business with me, I'll just reset it and restart it on all over, with that. But most of them at that point are doing a repeat transaction before that, and then it resets the drip over once they do another repeat transaction, right? So then what am I saying on these 90-day calls? As I mentioned earlier, if we look at the name of the game, get people to know you, like you, trust you, be aware of what you do for a living, follow frequently, stay in touch with them frequently, your business continues to grow. Only one element of that, remember, is real estate. The others are getting to know you, like you, trust you. How do you get people to know you, like you, trust you? Is you develop rapport, you develop connection. We also talked about this a moment ago. The most powerful way of doing that is to make people feel significant. It's the deepest desire of all human beings, is to have a feeling of significance. Like if you look at people's funerals, right? People, like when you listen to conversation at people's funerals, all those conversations really deeply are around, and how you'll remember somebody at a funeral is how they made you feel. Right. So, like nobody really thinks anybody's really cool. Yeah. Right. Like, it boils down to how does that person make you feel about yourself? Right. So I just want to go out there and give them what I know that they desire most. And this, again, just How to Win Friends, Influence People. It's a Human Connection Bible. I reread the book every single year. And that boils down to, okay, be interested, not interesting. So inside your CRM as well, is this comes down to, because once you get to a point where you got a bunch of these past clients, over the years, you start doing this over years, man, you get a bunch of them. You start adding, 100 new deals a year, 200 new deals a year. That's adding 200 new past clients every single year. It gets very difficult to remember everything. So this is also like every conversation that you're having with them, take detailed notes inside your CRM. So before you call them again, you can re-reference those notes. Also inside my CRM, so when I go into Perfect Storm, when I go into a past client contact record, I also I have all their social media links in there. So we have that set up in the backend profile. So then that way I just click on, like in their contact record in the CRM, I click on the Facebook icon, boom, it pops up their Facebook page, right? Takes me right to their Facebook page, so I can see everything that's going on in their life. I can do the same with Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, so forth, with their social media platforms. So before I do that call with my past clients, I'm not doing this with that leads, that's a higher volume and so forth. But with my past clients, 100%. Like before I do every phone call, I'm going to spend a minute. Okay, what happened in our last conversations? What's going on? Anything I need to know here? What's going on in their social media world, right? So I'm trying to be able to lead that conversation with that rapport, with that connection. I'm going to make the whole call all about them. Like I said, guys, I've never begged for a referral. I've never asked for a referral, and you don't have to, you don't need to. Now, I'm not saying anything's wrong with begging and asking for referrals if that's your style, but I know most in this industry, one of the most common things that I get is, man, how do I stay in touch with my past clients, with my sphere of influence, without coming across as like this begging, douche that's always begging for business? Look, you don't need to be that person if you don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person. I don't do that either. But when I get them on the phone, I'm just checking with them. And at this point, we've had experiences together, whatever. So I'm just checking them. Hey, how are you doing? How's the family doing? How's work going? Hopefully I've got, like, I put all their kids' names, birthday, like I have all that stuff in there. So I'm able to not just be like, hey, how are the kids? Yeah, right. Or how are the wife and kids? I'm able to, speak to, hey, their specific names, because I've got all that in my CRM notated, that I'm able to pull over really fast and see all of that. Hey, I noticed that you guys looks like you guys just went on vacation, man. Like, tell me about it. What was your favorite parts? What'd you guys do? Right. So I'm just pouring into them. How are you doing? What's going on? Making it all about them, being attentive, again, be interested, not interesting. Then from there, when we look at the law of reciprocity, is the most powerful law of all the laws of influence. So they are going to circle back and ask about you, right? So then at that point, they're going to be like, well, hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing great. Amanda's doing great. Kids are doing great. So wife and kids are doing great. Business is just as crazy as ever. Business is booming and crazy. Right now, we're seeing it's the best time to go out there and buy here in the Phoenix area in the last 3+ years. So, man, we are busy helping a lot of homeowners right now. So I appreciate you asking. Thanks so much. So like anytime they ask about me, I try to get the conversation off me and back onto them as quickly as possible. So I'm not going to be rude and not try to, dismiss that question. I'm going to, answer it genuinely. But again, I want to make like 90% of this conversation about them, maybe 10% of it's going to be about me. Again, just be interested, not interesting. Now, I end every conversation though with this, right? And to me, I mean, this is again planting that seed deeper for that repeat referral business, which is just, and that's someone we've had a lot of conversations with, so when I jump, again, this is just me ending the call. So, hey, before we hang up, I know I've said this in the past, but every time I get a chance to talk to you, I just want to say it because it just means so much to me. But I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I just want to thank you so much for all the support that you continue to give me in my real estate business. As you know, everything that I do is commission based, and the only way I'm able to provide for my family is out there through selling homes. And I never be able to create and provide the opportunities I'm able to provide for my family that wasn't for my amazing clients like you, and not just all the business that you give me or that you do with me, but also all the friends and family members and people that you know that you refer over to me. And look, again, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank you so much. Again, I couldn't provide the opportunities that I provide for my family if it wasn't for my amazing clients like you. And I just want you to know that if there's ever anything I can do for you, whether it's real estate related or not, I don't care what it is, if there's ever anything I can do to help you, to support you, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here for you. If there's anything I can do. And real quick, before we hang up, is there anything that you can think of right now that I can help you with? Anything I can do for you? Right. And I just ended at that. Let them, a lot of times it's, oh no, but I appreciate that, right. But it's just, again, teaching them, teaching and planting those seeds. Right. But then sometimes they're like, yeah, I'm actually going, and then it ends up in a conversation. Hey, I'm going through a tough time. Yeah. Right. You got a second. Yeah, actually, I'm going through a challenge. And I never know where those conversations lead. I've had people, talking about marriages or the kids or whatever it may be. And look, they don't need a counsellor. They're not expecting me to be a counselor. They just need an ear to listen to, and that's okay. I can be that person for them for that, 10 minutes at the event. That's okay. Now I know to notate that, hey, maybe they're going through a tough time. Maybe instead of waiting for those 90 days, I need to follow up with them once a week. Maybe I need to follow up with them twice a week. Right. So it's really just going deep into focusing on those connections. But those calls, you guys, even though, yeah, over time, as you start stacking these up, these can take some time. Right. But when you have an organized CRM, it keeps you on track, keeps you on task, ensure that things aren't getting missed. It's not as time intensive as most people think because a lot of people can't answer their phones, right? So we can't, it's not like if I'm trying to call 4 times a year every 90 days, it's like, look, I'm lucky to get him on the phone 2 to 3 times a year. And that's an adequate amount to keep that alive and keep those conversations going, and so forth. So but it's time well invested. And this is the one thing that, I've tried to automate this element before, but I have found when I automate this, then boom, those connections stop, the repeat referral business stops. Like, it's the one element that I found that makes the biggest overall difference. All those other things, like, again, however you want, if you don't want to do social media and you want to stay in touch through, handwritten cards or postcards or other ways, great. Or client events, parties, great. But don't think that those will substitute those calls. I can just tell you from personal experience, I'm a guy that's an automation, and an efficiency freak. So I have tried to make this more efficient and so forth. And, just found it to be, such a high important activity, the most important activity on a daily basis inside my real estate business. All right, guys. So that is my breakdown of the most effective ways ways to stay in touch with your past clients effectively to maximize repeat referral business without having to spend any money and without having to beg for business. So again, hopefully you found this helpful. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, that like button. Again, also make sure to go to gsdmode.com, sign up for that online training. I know it's 3 hours, it's a lot, but I can promise it will be the most powerful training that you've ever taken, free or paid. Was my goal with this training. It's extremely, extremely powerful, and I'll ensure that you are making those right pivots and ensure that you know how to continue to grow, scale, and adapt regardless of the marketplace. So gsdmode.com, sign up for my 3-hour free masterclass taking place right now, and then go download that free ebook, which are 42 top real estate tips, strategies, and so forth to help you grow your business. Both of them are free, nothing being sold, no strings attached. Go check those out. Appreciate you guys being here. Keep crushing it, keep kicking ass, and I will see you next time. Peace.